Damian Lillard just saved his career. Signing with the Portland Trailblazers, this changes everything. Being in Milwaukee sucked the life out of Damian Lillard. He went from being a generational point guard to not even the #1 option on his own team. Damian Lillard is an unstoppable point guard when he has the ball in his hands. He needs to dominate the ball, and in Milwaukee, he couldn't do that because guess what? Giannis needs the ball too. They tried to make it work. Giannis and Dame, two superstars, maybe they could win a title. But from the first day, it didn't feel right. Something felt weird. The energy, not just the energy, but if you watch the basketball games, it felt weird. It didn't feel natural. It wasn't the prime Damian Lillard. But Damian Lillard didn't pass his prime by getting older. Damian Lillard passed his prime by going to the wrong team. I think he knew that from the beginning, but Dame is a good guy. He didn't force a trade. He didn't create any drama. He was a good dude the whole time. Giving up control and being okay being the #2 option, sometimes the #3 option. We're talking about a player that's probably top 75 of all time by the end of his career, being a third option on his team in his prime. It doesn't add up. And before the Bucks could develop any good chemistry, they get a new coach, they make changes to the roster. There was no chemistry. Probably not in the locker room and definitely not on the basketball court. But Portland brings a whole new opportunity. I've been watching Dame his whole career. This is a guy who values loyalty. This is a guy who values his hometown. And even though he didn't grow up in Portland, Portland is his new home. He lived there for so many years, and now being signed to the Blazers, a 3-year, $42 million deal where he's getting paid to not play next season. He's getting paid all the money from the Bucks contract and the new money from the Blazers. He has 2 contracts going on. And if you don't know, he tore his Achilles, unfortunately, last season. He's out all of this year, but now he gets to rehab at home with his family. Portland is showing trust in Damian Lillard. Portland is actually, in a way, thanking Damian Lillard for how he carried them back in the day. And for someone that cares about loyalty like Dame, you don't think he'll appreciate it? This is the exact thing he needed for the revival of his career. People were saying maybe he goes to the Celtics. No, it wouldn't have worked. It would be just like the Bucks. You're trying to create a super team. The NBA right now is all about chemistry. We saw it with Oklahoma, the chemistry they have. If you want to build a super team, you better make sure there is chemistry. Damian to Boston, it wouldn't have saved his career. Damian to Dallas, it wouldn't have saved his career. All the other teams, the Spurs, the Miami Heat, it wouldn't have saved his career. But he went to the one team where it would have. So now that he feels the loyalty from his old team, now that he is the clear #1 option on a young, fun team, an up-and-coming team, he can be the #1 guy. He can bring energy. He can be a star. But what about the Blazers team? What about the guys around him? Let's think back to the Blazers in the prime of Damian Lillard. Who was his #2 guy? Who was his duo? CJ McCollum. Damian Lillard plays amazing when he has a great shooting guard on his team. Who do the Blazers have? Shaedon Sharpe, the young guy who averaged 19 points per game last season. The perfect guy to be next to Lillard. They have Denny Avdija at small forward. I probably butchered his name. I don't know how to say it right. An elite young talent. Jeremy Grant at power forward. Donovan Clingan. Scoot Henderson as the backup point guard. Drew Holiday as the backup. They have all the young talent and they have the vet, Drew Holiday, to bond with Damian Lillard. I don't know if you could have handpicked a better team for him to be around. Is he gonna win a title here right now? I don't know. Probably not. But he's not playing this season. All of these young guys have 1 year to grow together, to develop. These are serious players. Shaedon Sharpe, these are guys that might be an all-star in 1-2 years. So the fact that Dame is not playing this season gives those young guys 1 year to develop, to get better. So when Dame comes back in 2026, they might be a real team. Then maybe they have a shot to be a contender. And I think that team will be great in 2026. But even if they are not, for Damian Lillard himself, for his career, some players like KD, they need to get the ring. They have to be on a team where they're going to win a title or else they're not happy. From everything we've seen, Damian Lillard plays his best when he is at peace, when he is confident about where he is. And we are about to see that version unlocked. We are about to see a system built around him. I know what you're thinking, but Greg, he's past his prime. This isn't 35 points per game, Damian Lillard. I think it still can be. Because even on the Bucks, a few games when Giannis was out and he got to be the #1 option, we saw prime Lillard come right back. And by the way, it's not Giannis's fault at all. It was just a bad fit. But Greg, there's another reason he shouldn't be in his prime. He got injured. He got a torn Achilles. If your game is all about dunking and getting to the rim, a guy like Ja Morant, that will mess up your game. A guy like Derrick Rose, those injuries will ruin your game. Damian Lillard is a sharpshooter. This guy is hitting from the logo. There's a reason when Kevin Durant came back from his torn Achilles, he was just as good. He almost led the Nets to the finals because Kevin Durant is a scorer in a different way. He is a sharpshooter, and Damian Lillard is also a sharpshooter, which is why I think he will recover just fine. Is he gonna be taking as many logo threes? Because you need that strength to hit those deep threes. Probably a little bit less. The three-point shot is going to be just fine. And let's remember, Damian Lillard didn't get traded to Portland. Boston wanted him. If he went to Boston 2026, he would come back, Tatum would come back, it would be Lillard, Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. So although Lillard couldn't have controlled when he got traded to Milwaukee, he had control in this decision. He had a choice. Do I chase the ring and give up my game? Do I not be the #1 option? It's gonna be a weird fit. How are me, Tatum, and Jaylen Brown all gonna get enough shots? 9 out of 10 players would have gone to the Celtics, if not more. Maybe 10 out of 10 players who are not Damian Lillard. You go to the Celtics, you go and try to win a title. But Damian Lillard said no. Damian Lillard took back who he was and showed us and cemented his legacy as the type of player he is. And I believe we are gonna see a fiery version of him come out in 2026. Bro, I'm not a Blazers fan. I'm not even a Damian Lillard fan. But I am a fan of cool things in basketball, and this is cool. This is poetic. The team that traded him coming back, it is poetry in basketball. Because guess what? If Damian Lillard doesn't win in Portland, no one's gonna blame him. No one's gonna say, you should have gone to Boston, besides Boston fans. People are gonna respect him for what he did. He doesn't have to do a single thing to prove himself, to prove his legacy, to prove who he is. He doesn't have to do anything. So that's anyways. In any scenario, he's good. But if he pulls something off, if he can lead a Blazers team to be a contender, if he can put together a championship run. But that's so unlikely. It's not that unlikely. It's not impossible. And the fact that it's unlikely is what makes it such an incredible story that it might be. No matter what happens next, by this decision, Damian Lillard saved his career and cemented his legacy forever. But check out how an NBA star who only used one hand dominated everyone.